Good morning, guys. So, I feel the need to say this. We're halfway through the year. And many of you guys are wanting to get in the best shape of your life. And you're still delaying the process. So in this video, I want to talk about how to finish 2025 in the best shape of your life. I'm gonna finish this run and then we're gonna get into it. Okay, so we're done with this run. It's a good session, just a little bit about my own training right now. I am currently preparing for a full marathon. I was hoping to do it in October, but we're gonna move it to December. This week, I've been focusing quite a bit on the 80-20 rule. Basically, I'm reading the book right now, but to summarize it is out of every 5 runs, one of them is more of a sprint workouts related. The others are more slower. You just building up endurance on your feet. So I've taken this week to really focus on that because I did notice that the program that I was currently following, it had more faster workouts and it was starting to really cause like bad pains in my calf. So yeah, I started reading this book and I'm just kind of trying to implement some of those disciplines into the program I currently have. But yeah, ended up doing 4 miles. I ended up staying here, guys, to also, I came to a run group today and I did it just to get out on my shelf because I train for myself. I have my own goals, but I also understand the importance of, getting to know others and networking and just honestly building relationships. Honestly, I think that's what this whole life that we get to live here on this earth is about, building relationships. And yeah, I got to meet Sean, the founder of Dreamers Run Club, and spoke to him. It was a good conversation. Got to know his background, shared a little bit with him about Endure. So now let's get into the subject because I really felt the need to bring this up because we only have 4 months left into the year, or like 4.5 months. And it's important that I will be doing a disservice if I don't really double down on these things that I need to bring up. So let's get home and let's get into this topic. You see, I was really hoping to start this video really addressing it to beginners, but to be honest, these are things that any one of us who might have hit a plateau or we have fallen into a point where we are stuck and we're like in this rut and we haven't seen the best results into going to the gym. It's a good way for us to get back on track. And I'm sorry if these things I'm gonna tell you maybe it's things you do not want to hear and they might not be easy, but it's the truth and I need to bring it up. So I've been working out myself 16 years now. I started when I was 13. I'm 29 now. And I've gotten very lean. I've bulked up. I've been in a way, in the point where I feel balanced. I got to the extremes of competing in certain events, strength, cardio, endurance sports, to not just training for fun. And the biggest thing I have learned that will help you reach your goal is 2 big things: focus and fun. Now, the focus is because you're going to have a goal, and realistically, if you're watching this video, more than likely you want to build muscle and you want to lose body fat, or it's one of the two. You want to get leaner or you want to build muscle. That's usually how it goes. And how you go about that, it's important. One of the biggest things I see when people come into the gym is not that they're not exercising, it's the fact that when they are exercising, the training they're doing has nothing to do with their goals. For example, if you go join a run club and you're running, but then you come and talk to us telling us that you want to build muscle, or me at the gym, and that's a conversation we're having, you're wasting your time at the run club. If your goal is to get bigger arms, I'm sorry, but you need to be lifting weights. You have no business running. And I'm using a simple example, but it's really the way it goes, and it's really how much focus that certain goal of yours requires. I just recently started getting more into running these last 2-3 years. But for the most part, lifting has always been my main thing. I'm never stepping away from it. And I've been doing it for years. So I've built a lot of muscle mass through the years to the point where right now that I'm running, it's not just gonna go away, especially if I'm maintaining my nutrition. But the point is, it also took a bunch of years for me to even get there. So you need to find out what that goal of yours is. You want to build muscle, you want to lose 20 pounds, you can do it. But it's going to take you to focus and then create a training plan that's really going to lead you over towards those goals. Then number 2, your nutrition is just as important. I'm sorry, but let me say that one more time. Your nutrition is just as important as your training. You're not going to outwork your nutrition. The only times I've ever kind of been close to that is when I was 16 to 18 and I was a competitive swimmer, and I was also working out 6 times a week. That I was able to stay lean and eat pretty much whatever I want. After that, going into college, going into where I'm just exercising, lifting weights an hour and a half through my day, maybe 5 times a week, I just wasn't as lean. I had to focus more on my nutrition, and that's where I started gaining weight. I started bulking, and then as time went on, eventually I came to find out that, you know what, I didn't want to look like that, and I started leaning out. And I've done that a few times where I bulked out just for the sake of gaining weight or competing in certain things, but then I really don't like the way I feel, and then I'm stripping weight off again, having to eat healthier, and it's just one of those things that we're getting older, we're not moving as much. Can you move more? Sure, but it also becomes super difficult, especially if you might have certain life situations that you're going through. Like school is a big commitment, work is a big commitment, being a parent is a big commitment. You have all these things that might be taking time away from you. So when you go to the gym, it's important that yes, you dedicate that time to the gym to train towards your goal, but then also making sure that when you're eating, you're also providing the right fuel towards that goal, right? Like eating the correct foods, eating healthier majority of the time. Nobody's saying you can't probably have a cheat meal once a week, but for the most part, the more strict you are with your nutrition, the faster you're gonna reach your goal. Because that's the other problem, right? We all want to reach a goal, but we either want it instantly, or we tell ourselves, eventually it's going to happen. But then putting it off super far, then we end up never reaching it, because we're just keeping setting up more setbacks that we put to ourselves that we never get to it. And then super fast, it's just not really gonna happen, because you're creating a goal that's just not possible to happen that fast. Like if you wanted to lose, I don't know, 40 pounds in 2-3 weeks, I'm sorry, but that's not the way it works. So
starting to count your food. I can't stress that enough. Learning how to track your macros, right? Tracking those macros. If you start learning how to do that using MyFitnessPal, I think MyFitnessPal nowadays is like one of the easiest apps to use. You do have to pay if you want to use like the premium version of it, but it's not that hard. Let me show it to you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this and other videos maybe perhaps, but it's this app right here, MyFitnessPal. It opens up, you can go to your diary and you can just input all your foods. I haven't done mine for today, but for example, this was mine for yesterday. And at the end of the day, you can basically see how many calories you've ate, how much, where those calories come from, which is what I mean by macros. It's my proteins, my fats, my carbs, and I can have a better idea of what I'm putting into my body. Because that's the biggest problem, honestly, when it comes to nutrition. Many of us might eat healthy one day, but then the other days we're not. And, let's say you're 4 days good, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's horrible. And you're wondering why you're stuck in this big plateau. And you're just not doing the best that you should. So taking maybe one step forward, and then 2 steps back. And you just keep playing that game with yourself. And again, even with the nutrition, what I just said earlier, it's important for you to focus. Like, if this is what you want, you need to commit. And committing does almost hurt a little bit, because it's a big thing that, yes, you're gonna take on. It's something that's gonna make you uncomfortable, but that's how we grow. Like, that's where the good comes from. Like, nothing in this life has ever meant to be easy. If you're in that feeling of, man, I'm a bit uncomfortable, trust me, you're not the only one dealing with it. I deal with it, and it's hard to sometimes say no to certain foods. But the more consistent that you are with following the plan, your nutrition, your training, you will reach those goals. If I look at my phone, I'm sorry, I have some notes here of things that I want to share with y'all going into this. Going a little bit more into these diets, right? Just a quick thing. There's keto out there, there's carnivore, there's vegan, pescatarian, all these kinds of diets. The best advice I can give you on that is, I think you should eat a well-balanced diet, but at the same time, if there's something that works for you, run with it. If it works for you and you love it, you can do it on a day-to-day basis for 6-7 days a week, continue with it. But if it's not realistic for you and you're just doing it because you heard somebody on the internet talk about it, and that's what you're gonna do because that's the person you like to follow on social media, you need to be careful with that. Yes, you should try things. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't try things, but honestly, in a week or two, you can find out whether that diet is for you or it's not. So that's my advice on that. Going back to the social media thing, there's so much information out here nowadays, and I'm providing you guys with information right now, right? But there's a big paralysis behind analysis. And what I mean is that there's so much information out there: how to grow your chest, how to improve, how to lose certain percentage of body fat in the next 4 weeks, how to properly grow your biceps, how to gain a 6-minute mile in the next few days. Again, we need to focus. What is the goal? And there's so much information out here, and there's so many people being influencers that we almost do not know who to follow and who to take advice from. I love the fitness space. I think it's awesome that a lot of people are choosing to get active. There can be worse things out there on the internet. However, I also see a lot of people come into my gym, and the reason they're coming into us, we're not an open gym, we're a a small group training gym and one-on-one coaching, and they're coming to us because they do not know what to do. And again, right, it's crazy because there's so much information out there, but that's the truth. Like, you just do not even know who to actually follow. So then the next step is hiring somebody who actually knows what they're talking about and working with them, following a plan. But I'm gonna give you guys some honest truth here. A lot of programs work if you focus on it, if you do it, truly commit, if you follow it, and if you apply some intensity to it. If you're willing to truly work hard at it, more than likely you can get some results from it. I've learned a lot from training programs online, from working with coaches. That's how I learned a lot of things, doing my own research, seeing what worked for me. But there's no right way or wrong way to lose fat or to build muscle. And at the end of the day, how I was telling you guys, if you guys are having fun with it, if you're enjoying it, push on forward. Don't be so uptight with your training to the point where like now you suffered through it because, or you do not enjoy it, but you are doing it just because certain person on social media is sending you to do that specifically. To a certain point, some training is difficult. But if there's an exercise you like better than another one, you know, and you feel it better, maybe you can switch that up. So quit overanalyzing things. Pick what you want to do. You want to build muscle, you want to burn about body fat, and stick to the plan. Whether you get a program online, whether you hire the coach, whether you work with the coach online, or you're showing up to group classes, stick to the plan. It works. Majority of these things work. But you need to commit. Last and not least, here's something else I wanted to add in on here. I'm a Christian. I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I can understand maybe some of you guys watch it and you don't. But I think it's important that you do not allow this fitness journey of yours to let it stress you. And what I mean by that is that, you know, as a follower of Christ, it has taught me to be careful in what I idolize. And I say that because we can look at our own bodies or a certain fitness goal, a certain body that we aspire, and we can idolize it. And we need to be very careful with that. And I think the moment you know if you're idolizing something is if you're letting it stress you out. Even fitness itself, you start chasing a certain number you want to squat, certain things, and I think that it's awesome. It's awesome when somebody wants to push themselves, but when it starts to become a stress in your life that, oh my god, I didn't get to do this today, so now I'm like feeling like crap about myself. Now I hate myself. Now maybe I shouldn't be doing this. The scale didn't go down this week. You know what? I'm done with this. When you start to get into a rut like that, you might be putting that thing on a pedestal too much. This fitness journey, this you reaching this best version of yourself, should come with hard work, but also love for yourself because you're doing it for good reasons. But the moment you become your own worst enemy at this because of how much you're idolizing this goal, you're hurting yourself. And you probably doing it at that point maybe for the wrong reasons. And I noticed that for myself, for example, when I just kept competing things back to back, trying to push my body so much, but then it was causing me to neglect other things in my life that are priorities. Again, it's not to say I can't go do a run, I can't go sign up for a marathon, but hey, I have a job, I have a wife at home, I have responsibilities that I need to make sure are taken care of before a certain performance goal, like reaching the marathon, right? Or like, let's say I wanted to be 5% body fat. Like, at the end of the day, being healthy is a way to honor God, you know, treating our bodies as a temple. But at the same time, it's a way to just in general honor ourselves and take care of ourselves. Do something that we are proud of. But I have seen it happen to me, it happened to many others, when we start putting this body, or even other people's bodies, other people's goals, what they've done, as pedestals and what we want to reach out to and inspire and aspire by, to the point that it stresses us out. Again, to the point where it stresses you out. I cannot say that enough, because again, this stuff can be healthy for you. It can help you become a better version of yourself. But if you push that line too far, you can turn it the other way to now it's just a stress to your life. So be careful with that. That's the biggest advice I wanted to give you guys on this video. If you're struggling with finding focus or having a plan on what to follow, we have 2 ebooks that I'll link my website down below. One of them's a strength one, and one of them's more of a strength and conditioning one. The strength one will really help you put on muscle mass. It's going to help you get stronger. The other one's going to be a training plan that's going to help you build muscle, but at the same time get leaner, build up your endurance. Go look at them, check them out. They're like $35 for 8 weeks of training. Check them out. Yeah, I've done these workouts for clients in our gym, and they have gotten massive results. I had even one client lose up to 103 pounds, and in 1 month he lost 36. It was great transformation, but he was focused and he was committed to the plan. Sorry if I started off this video a little differently, wanting to talk about, you know, just how to start your health and fitness journey, but I think it's how you can end this year in the best shape for yourself. And I want to get a little more deeper into these topics, nutrition, training, but I think it's important that I make this video because we only have 4 months left. So check out those ebooks. I'm gonna drop this video, and hope you guys like it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you guys think. And if there's anything else you guys want to see, let me know. I'm going to get better at this. My goal is just to be consistent at it. I hope you guys follow. And again, I'll talk to y'all soon. See y'all later.